Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. I know a few regulars are going to have to start getting used to this haircut on me now. They've seen me so long with all the hair, now they see me with no hair instead. It's going to be a weird one, but we're here to talk about Euro 2024 now, not my hair. My hair happened because of Euro 2024, because it didn't come home. But sometimes it's not always about the destination, sometimes it's about the journey, guys. So let's talk about the journey in total for all the teams. And just as a general summarisation of how the tournament went, because it was quite a fun tournament, and a lot of people mainly talked about how it was such a fun tournament because there was no Guardiola ball going on. But in the end, the most Guardiola ball team still won, didn't they? But it was an enjoyable tournament. You know, apparently the stat of 33% of all the goals were scored from outside the box, which is insane. But at the end of the day, it's beautiful. Kind of like it. It's, you know, it kind of like, you don't know who's going to win in type of football. Obviously starting off over a month ago now, with that 5-1 win Germany held over Scotland. Scotland coming to the tournament with a lot of hope, a lot of hype around them, going, oh, what can we do in this tournament? And it turns out they can do niche, because they ended up losing 5-1 in the first game and just crashing out the tournament, bottom of their group, which is quite fun to see. Quite a few other results here, there and everywhere that, like, in the group stage, which you kind of expect to happen. I think some of the biggest shocks were, you know, England not really doing too well in the group, but somehow we got to the final, and we'll take it into the final. Austria finishing top of the group in Group D was a massive shock to most people. Most people would have put them fighting for that bottom place spot with Poland trying to get through in third. But instead, Netherlands came in third, France came in second, thanks to the only game that Austria lost in the group was against France, and it was from a Wilbert Ungol, I don't know how you pronounce his name. But the Netherlands did fight. They got a nice draw against France, and they looked a better team against France, and it looked like they might push on further than France. Obviously, both in the end got to semi-final, and both in the end failed in the semi-final. I'm so glad there wasn't a third place playoff, because once again it probably ended 0-0. I think the Netherlands were the better team, but it was one of them where, you know, Australia getting that 3-2 win over the Netherlands put them top of the group, and then France dropping points to Poland ended their luck and put them second in the group and put them on a different path, and they put England on a really nice path for the final. Yeah, we got the final on a nice path, but we still, I think Switzerland's a big team in Europe, and Netherlands are a massive team in Europe, and to beat them to get to the final is huge for us. And so people might say to us, like, oh, you know, you're not really good enough, oh, England I need to do better. I think we did really well in this tournament. We need to pat ourselves on the back in the end, because there's other teams that kind of looked more drab, like Belgium losing their first game 1-0 to Slovakia. Romania had a good game in that opening game against Ukraine, but after that this group kind of like burnt out. Everything came as you'd expect it, and everyone finished on 4 points, and Ukraine became the first ever team in Euros history to get knocked out on 4 points, which really does surprise me that it's not happened before. But yeah, unlucky Ukraine. It's, you know, they've not got a lot of luck for them. But a country with a lot of luck for them right now actually was Georgia, who lost their first game but managed to get a draw against the Czech Republic, and then beating Portugal, one of the favourites for the tournament, Portugal, 2-0 to get to the next the round of 16. It's incredible. And then he obviously got stiffed a bit by getting placed up against Spain and getting absolutely smashed by Spain. Spain obviously looked really strong throughout the whole tournament, and they didn't stop there as they beat Germany, and then they beat France, and then they beat England 2-1, 2-1, 2-1 and 4-1 in the build up to the final. It's consistency, and that's what you need in tournament football. There's a bit of consistency in your team. Germany, the home team, obviously getting knocked out by Spain, as I said. Unlucky for them, but I'm glad I didn't play Germany in the final. So I don't think I would have played Germany in the final. I really want to play France in the final, to be honest, and I thought we'd play Portugal, but Portugal knocked out by France, and France got knocked out by Spain. Obviously, France-Portugal went to penalties because both teams just seem to have that lacklustre in the attack. Portugal obviously relying a lot on Ronaldo, and France relying a lot on Mbappe, and the two men just didn't show up in that game, and it ended up 5-3 with Portugal missing one of their, I think, who was it that missed the Portugal's penalty? Was it João Felix? I think João Felix was the one that missed, yeah. But obviously Portugal's game before that against Slovenia went to penalties as well, and Diego Costa saved all three, and it's one of the performances of the tournament from a goalkeeper there, and he was the reason, you know, they got to the next round. They kept a clean sheet against France as well, doing really well there. France beating Belgium 1-0, a repeat of that semi-final from World Cup 2018. And it was kind of the same game, a bit drab, you know, and then France snatched it near the end. Netherlands really strong against Romania, winning 3-0. Austria getting beat by Turkey, everyone was like, oh my god, Austria just beat the Netherlands, they're going to have a really good strong game here against Turkey. And then no, they didn't. They just couldn't do it. Turkey's chaos defeated Austria's mentalness. And I think Austria are going to be a good team going into the World Cup in 2026. I think they have a really strong chance of getting far in that competition under Rangnick. Rangnick's going to have a couple more years to implement the way he wants to play in that team. And I think it's going to really do well for him, and they might be able to push on to do really well in the tournament. I can't see him winning the World Cup, but you never know. That's the magic of football, guys. That is the magic of football. England beating Slovakia in extra time. It was a painful watch, but Bellingham's goal was magnifique. And it's Switzerland beating Italy, which I called from the get-go. I said Italy getting beaten that game. They didn't look good enough. We managed to squeeze past Switzerland, though, thankfully, and it led us to the Netherlands in the semi-final, who gave us a challenge, gave us more of a challenge than we expected, but we managed against it. And it was just that last hurdle against Spain, and England became the first team to ever lose back-to-back finals. But I do think Spain deserved it. The way they played this whole tournament, they kind of deserved it, because they just had that never lay down attitude. They'd always be on the attack. Whilst you look at England sometimes, we would try and shadow it. We'd try to protect what we have whilst we've got it, rather than going for the throat, because there was plenty of times where we could have really gone for the throat in some of our games and we just didn't. It's one of them. It's happened now. It was a fun watch. It was. That Netherlands game was a great game. The Switzerland game was a great feeling after the game. Beating Slovakia, it felt great. That Bellingham goal, I had so much enjoyment, and people are still going for Southgate's throat. But I don't think anyone's made anyone alive now feel happier watching England than Southgate has. You might have these moments where it's like, oh, it's really boring, but then it's like right at the end, something mental happens, and it's just like the joy of getting there is enough for me right now. And I'm happy with it, because in my lifetime, I always thought, oh, we might get lucky to see England in a final. I've seen England in 2 finals now and 3 lots of semi-finals just because of Southgate, and I've got to be happy with that. At the end of the day, I have got to be happy with that. But that is the end of the video now, guys. I do thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like, you'll see more, subscribe, because more on the channel every single day. Thank you for watching, guys, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Cheers.